Hey there, Internet. I'm just doing a little update video on my game Super Ninja Skydiving plus Zombies. Hopefully to answer a few questions that people have asked, and as well as kind of showing you guys the update stuff that I've been working on. I'm just gonna launch my test version of it here. Yeah, ignore the gray bar. That's not going to be there. So yeah, one of the first things I'm going to talk about is the new trophy system that I've added in. So it's like an achievement system that you can unlock game art as well as some concept art. I'm not sure how well this is coming through here, through the camera. It does look a little bit bright, but it actually looks pretty good in the actual game. So yeah, so this is kind of like an achievement system that I've kind of spent some time putting in, scanning a bunch of concept art, coloring a lot of it. Some of the art's not colored. It's more of like a raw form, so you can kind of see what some of the sketches of the stuff that didn't get used in the game looks like, which I thought was kind of cool. The second thing is I've kind of attacked some performance issues that I guess people have complained about. I still can't get the game to run in full resolution. One sec, I'm just going to turn the volume of this down because it's kind of overshadowing me here. I still can't get the game to run in full resolution. This is an issue because it's all made in Flash. Actually, it's built in Adobe Air, and the performance of it on the mobile devices isn't that good. It's okay for how I'm doing it, and I might post some videos later on, kind of describing how I've been able to get the current performance out of the game on a mobile device using Adobe Air, because I've done some pretty crazy bitmap caching things to get it to that point. Sorry if I'm kind of boring you. I'll move on here. So some of the things that I've added is statistic tracking, so you can kind of see. Well, I'm probably going to add to this as time goes on, but you can see the number of deaths you've had, the total zombies you've killed, how much bread you've got, the time played, that kind of stuff. I've also made some modifications to the graphics menu. I think I've had the ability to show your frames per second and stuff like that in the previous version as well, but I've kind of added to that. I've got some performance modifications to speed the menus up a little bit, and again, I think that was in the 1.2 version as well. The big addition to my next release is this bottom one right here. I don't know if you can read that, but it's advanced bitmap caching. I kind of found a way that, well, I'll show you guys the differences, but I found that while resizing and rotating bitmaps in a 2D space, you lose a lot of performance. It's a pretty big performance hit, and what I've done with this is now I've pre-cached what certain objects are going to be rotating and zooming and stuff like that, and scaling, sorry. And, well, yeah, I'll show you guys the difference in a minute. So one of the new gameplay features that I've added in are bonus levels, which you can unlock by completing different achievements and stuff like that in the game. Each level section will have 2. They're not complete, but I'm going to kind of show you what they look like right now. The gameplay of these is a little different than the actual game. Again, the artwork's not finished. You're going to see the ninja guy. Oops. One sec. The way this works is you have to actually move it with your hand. I'm not sure if you can see this, but I actually have to move the phone itself to control the dude. Oops. So I don't know if you can see this, but this is running at a pretty steady 30 frames a second on here. Again, not sure if you can really, yeah, you can't really see that, but I assure you it's 30 frames a second. And this is the big reason I did the bitmap caching modification to the game engine, is because this just would not work the way that it was working before. Oh, I really suck at this. Well, I'm trying to hold the camera and do this at the same time. So yeah, so this runs at 30 frames a second. So I'm just gonna get out of here, and that's due to the new way that I'm doing the bitmap caching. And I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of improvement on the speed in the actual game. The actual game itself, there was a few sections that were fairly slow before, which is my bad. I probably shouldn't have released it like that, because I have had people complain about it. but it is a lot faster now with the way I've optimized a lot of the rendering stuff. I spent a lot of hours doing that. So here's a quick little preview. Oops, I think I just killed myself. Okay, let me try that again. And there is some frame drops here, like it's not perfect, but I tried to keep it above 20 for the most part. So like right now I'm at 30 frames a second. Oops. So this part here is obviously going to go a lot slower. This is probably one of the most intense scenes in the entire game, and it drops to around 14, 15. You'll notice that the TV zombie guys, the static no longer shows up. The reason for that is it actually created a memory leak, which I found out about the other day, and I got rid of it for now. So that may or may not be added in by the time I release it, but for now the TV zombies no longer create static. They only create those blocks of repeating stuff. That still kind of distorts your screen a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to make that. But yeah, for the most part, it's running a lot faster now. One sec, I'm just going to show an example of one of the levels that had a lot of the rotating dudes. What's a good one? I think 27 maybe? Okay, so yeah, so it's got a lot of the gunner dudes in there, and these guys used to bog the game down like crazy before. Oh, this is like a really wide level. So this level does run a little bit slower because of how much stuff it's drawing on the screen. Like the actual level itself is like 10 times as wide as all the rest of them. I'm gonna kill myself because this one doesn't have as many of the shooting guys on the screen at the same time, so I can't really show you the performance difference that if you actually played the game before. 26 maybe. Okay, essentially I just want to get a screen where there's a lot of the gunner zombies on the screen at the same time, and then I'll show you without the new bitmap caching stuff and how much slower it runs. Again, this one's a bad example too. I'm gonna kill myself here. There's just not enough guys on the screen, man. Okay, I'll try to be level 23. Let it have a lot of dudes on the screen. Yeah, so this one here, it's got a lot of guys on both sides. And if you don't remember, but if you were to go down the screen when there's a lot of gun shooting guys in the old version, it definitely slowed down. And I wasn't really watching the frame rate, but it was still going pretty fast. So I'm gonna actually load this same level up without the advanced bitmap caching on, and you'll see the difference. And that was level 23, I think. Sorry if my camera works bad, but I'm having a hard time holding the webcam up and looking at or playing the game at the same time. Because I'm kind of trying to look at the monitor and look at the screen to see if I'm still filming it. Okay, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it definitely is going a lot slower. Like you can totally see it bogged down as it's trying to load all these guys rotating. At some point, the frame rate actually dropped pretty low. You know, it's not unplayable, but it's definitely way slower than it was with the advanced bitmap caching on. And since I have advanced bitmap caching off right now, I'm going to show you guys what the bonus level plays like. It definitely does not run at 30 frames a second. One sec, I just gotta grab it here. So it's still playable, but it definitely does not run nearly as fast, and it's kind of jumpy now too. Yes. So yeah, you can see that. So, and essentially what I'm doing now is I'm gaining a lot of frames per second because I'm actually caching the first ring that comes up. I'm caching all the different positions of it and saving that in memory, and then just reusing that the entire time, so it doesn't actually have to redraw all the scaled clouds. And again, I think I'll upload some videos for Flash developers that are interested in doing mobile games, and kind of showing the techniques on how I've been able to do some of this stuff. Because for a mobile game itself, the performance of it really isn't that great. I am able to draw sometimes 150, 200 items on the screen running close to 30 frames a second, but you got to realize like it's written in Flash, right? It's written in ActionScript, so it's definitely not going to run as fast as a native Android app. And again, I'm working on the iPhone port as well, and I'm going to kind of show some future videos on how I've kind of created the iPhone and the Android one at the same time, or sorry, using the same build but differently. Again, you can do that in Flash, but the way I'm doing it's kind of neat, I think, and I'll make some videos on that. So yeah, so hopefully the 1.03 build will be out very soon. I don't have an exact date on it yet. I'm hoping within 2-3 weeks at the maximum. I don't really have a lot of work to do left. The graphics engine runs way better than it did before. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to put this up soon, and you guys can enjoy playing the game. Oh yeah, by the way, new website is up as well. Check out www.rybram.com. Yeah, let me know what you think of the new website and of the game. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.